Come in. Hi, I feel like I'm so far away. Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's event. We wanted to start right on time. If you don't mind, on your way in, if you could hit the thumbs up, that would be excellent. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We did decide to take the week off because I was feeling completely burnt out, and that is being fully transparent. Unlike other resellers, I am a genuine full-time reseller. I just don't come on Tuesday nights and sell for a few hours and then sit around all week looking pretty. I actually work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that is being a full-time reseller. And I told Jeremy the other day, I said, sometimes I feel like I work 8 days a week, even though there's only 7. So I absolutely love all of you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so incredibly grateful for tonight's event. And let me make sure that this device is muted over here because I don't think it is. Give me 1 sec, everybody. Get into the live chat and turn this button down so I can see everyone. And thanks again for joining in. So let's just take a quick peek here. Again, tonight is just a show and tell. It's going to be about buttons, Jeremy's Viking glass, and you can ask whatever kind of questions you would like to ask us. But again, I needed the week off. I was gonna try and blame the fact of we're gonna give you a week to save money and then come back and see us next Tuesday. No, truth and transparency. I was exhausted. Jeremy is also doing the coffee trailer at the Chagrin Valley Hunt Club, so he wasn't gonna be able to invoice, ship, and get the items out if we had a sale this evening. 63 people in. Thanks so much for joining in tonight, and let me take a look and see who is here with us. Jeremy is super excited about this as well. He's right there, and he's ready to go. Let's see here. Rebecca Peters, Lily, Charlene, Melissa Ritz, Michelle Maynard. Haven't seen you for a while. Living Redefined, welcome in and thank you for being here. Charlene Allgood, Carrie Rush, a lot of older, longtime viewers and longtime friends. Bonnie Zimlich is here. David Hale is here. Let's see here. Mia Donzetta Rolls, Barb O'Donnell, Jerome, Ellie, Pistachio, Melissa. Thank you all so much. My mom made it. Hi, Lulu. Hi, Amy Arn. Hi, Jacqueline's Treasures. Maggie made it. Sheila made it. Cindy Hazard made it. Cindy, thank you so much for your friend mail. Timeless Jewels by Deborah made it. Diana made it. Pistachio, thanks for all of your supportive messages. Linda Eckstein, Wanda, Olga, Morning Angel, Cassandra, Nancy Morgan, Melanie Brown, Cheryl Mother, Debbie Lucio, Warrior Girl. Thank you all so much, guys. So as I've said before, and I'll say it again, tonight is not a sale. I needed the week off. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at some of Jeremy's Viking glass. Then I'm gonna reverse the camera in some way and I'm gonna show you the button cards. Then I'm gonna take you over to the light box and I'm gonna show you some of the details of why antique buttons are so collectible and so expensive. You might ask yourself, why are you gonna talk about buttons tonight, not sell them? I am totally gonna sell some buttons next week, and I told Jeremy, I really have to downsize this major collection. So yes, it cost $97,000. There's no lie there. And I did buy a button collection, was that $27,000, Jeremy? It was like $27,000 for a button collection several years ago. So buttons can be extremely expensive. All right, I think what we're gonna do is, I think I'll just give you a quick sample of some of these cards. And stay tuned, because you're not gonna wanna miss this. These are all Victorian charm string. You're not gonna wanna miss this. Also, you're not gonna wanna miss this card, because there is a Renee Lalique glass button on this card. And look at those babies. Do you guys love these? These are all pre-turn of the last century, so pre-1900. Very incredible, super wonderful. These are glass in bezels, glass in brass cups. That card alone, if you went to a national button show, that card alone would cost around $1,200 for that many cards. And I carded these. So I actually assembled this collection and actually carded all of these buttons. Again, tonight, you're only going to see a very small fraction of my collection. And when I say a really small fraction, I mean a really small fraction. And again, these are reversed. So in real life, they would be mirror imaged. So I'm going to try and reverse the camera in a little while, and then I'll go in front of the camera and hold these up so they will appear as they appear in real life on their cards. So let that wet your whistle. If you love rhinestone jewelry, I brought out all of my jeweled cards tonight. So look at all these jeweled buttons. Yes, that is one of the largest sapphire glass buttons. Sapphire glass. And there's another one here that's arts and crafts. There's another one here. There's another one up there. Look at those for rhinestones and jewels. Oh, we have a troll, Jeremy. I think you need to take care of that. So did you take care of it?
Yeah. Did
you blocky? Okay. I think we got it, guys. Did you delete it? Perfect. I knew that was going to happen because I told Jeremy I opened the floodgates tonight. So, because I used different hashtags on the live feed, and I said to myself, we're going to get some problems. You got it, Jeremy? Okay, Perfect. All right. I don't want to know what they said because then I'll go into attack mode. Do you love
kids?
Oh, kids. Do you love Bakelite buttons, everybody? Do you want a carrot button? Do you want a large compass and an anchor? Look at these buttons that are Bakelite. Look at the little sea monster and the Martha Sleeper match. I want to meet the woman that had a matchstick for a button. What about a lady that had a large pepper? What about the lady that said right here, want a screw? So look at those. And then there's a Martha Sleeper clown on this side, right there. All right, so just stay tuned for that and wait until we get into the light box. You will not believe the show that we have in store for you. And again, thank you for letting me take the week off and not have a sale tonight. But I'm so glad that everyone's here. 71 people, 40 thumbs up. I couldn't be more grateful. But next week's sale, look out and save up because it's going to be pretty epic. So it's going to be amazing. All right, let's take a look and see what we got here. Michelle Guida made it. Marilyn Formella made it. Eldine is here. Carrie Rush, Wanda, Pistachio, I love you. Diana's here. Sheila's here. Melissa and Flowers by Kyle made it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And yes, Warrior Girl, if you could, Jeremy, why don't you drop your email and I'll pin it real quick?
It's up.
Okay, if it's up, let's see here. I will pin the email for Jeremy. And let's see here. I'm looking for Jeremy. There it is. So let me grab that and pin that. Thank you, Mom. So yeah, if you would like to register for next week's sale, like Warrior Girl, I just pinned Bully Run Antiques up at the top. You will need to go over and you will need to send your email. And just email over there and it'll be great. Ginger, thank you for being here. Hi, Peg Swalbach. I said to Jeremy the other day, I haven't seen our Peg lately, and I was very upset about it. So thank you for being here. Tap Boyd is here. Pamela Tomlinson is here. Lulu is here. Thank you all so much. And Celeste is here. So hi, Celeste. I'm sorry that I didn't see you up there earlier. And I think I got everybody now. Did I forget anyone? I don't want to forget anyone ever. There's Joshy Boy. Okay, so Jeremy, do you want to show them maybe some of your Viking glass pieces? And then we'll get into buttons and I'll start to get that set up on that side of the table. Can I show these 3 large vases though?
Yes.
And then you can show, okay, so Jeremy loves. He loves his giant swung vases. And look at the way the light travels through this. Jeremy loves the quality of mid-century modern glass. He loves the color, and he loves that optic push and pull of the surface. But look at that, how the light radiates through the surface. Incredible size on that for a swung vase. Look how big it is. It's amazing. So there's that one. I'll set that out of the way so we don't break it. Jeremy, is this the one that's Ellie Smith? This one?
Yes.
Ellie Smith. So this one is Ellie Smith, and look at the top of this. These are swung. Look at the asymmetry in that. And then look at that beautiful crystal bottom. So if you're here for buttons, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. But I told Jeremy I wanted to show some of his collection tonight because it always seems like I leave people out of the fun, and that's never my intention. And Jeremy, thank you for letting me show them. And this giant one, I said I can't hit the ceiling fan. Look at how big this is. This is Ellie Smith. Look, guys. It's Ellie Smith, and it's just gigantic. Jeremy, how tall? It's 30. Let's do it. It's 30 something. Let's see here.
38 3/4.
38 3/4 inches for an Ellie Smith swung vase. Are you kidding me? And Jeremy paid so little for these back in the day, but look how massive this is. So this is one of Jeremy's treasures. And then he's going to show you, he'll step over here, and he'll show you some of, I asked him to pull out because you haven't seen these yet. Mushrooms by Viking, the pumpkins by Viking, the cats, and I think that's what he pulled out. Yeah. I'm going to watch for trolls. So, Ellie, the cats are really good, actually. The cats don't break the glass. And if you guys have any questions, I'll be watching, and I can engage Jeremy as he talks about his treasured glass. And if you want to stand here, you can, because it's really difficult. It's okay, because it's like so far away. That's all. Here, let me see if I can move it towards you a little bit. Let me squeeze it this way. Oh, okay. Is that good?
All right. Are you ready?
See where the chat is. See, you have to hold it above here. That's all. Because see, they won't see it because we have the long feed going the wrong way. But that's okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Take it away.
How's it going, everybody? So I got some paperweights here for you to check from Viking. We'll start with the pumpkin. I have a nice Amberina pumpkin, and it's got the Viking label. And I don't remember if this one has bubbles in it or not, but it's very it is got some weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
I also have it in green, which gives you a little bit of a different texture. What are you doing over there?
I am monitoring the chat.
Oh boy. We got some mushrooms. So this one Jason got me for Christmas one year, and it is the Viking Virgo mushroom, and it just so happens to be the same sign as me. We have a small uranium glass mushroom. And then I have these jumbos. And I have them in blue, the Amberina. And as you can tell, I mean, they span a good size, because my hand is not little at all. Let's see here. We have this amber one, which has a actual trap bubble inside.
And then can you explain to them that there's 4 sizes of each color?
Yeah, so there's the jumbo, and then there is the large, medium, and the small. And the small and the medium are almost the same in height, but the fan of the top of the mushroom is slightly bigger on the medium.
And I hate to interrupt because that's all I do, but you have in his showcase, everybody, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, about 14 more mushrooms in his showcase, and fruit paperweights, double that. So 30-ish more. He's got the green pepper, the apple. Do you have one of the gourds at all?
Yes.
Okay, so he's got a gourd, which is very hard to find. The apple, the pepper. I think that sums up the ones that he has that are Viking. Right. So a massive collection. This is a very small sampling.
Yes.
Let me move the cats over here for you, so you don't have to reach for them, because you love your amber cat too. And here's your clear glass one. And ooh, I want to show them this. Whoops. I want to show them this one. Whoops. Second one goes down. I want to show them that one. Look at the gills on that. Can you see it in the camera, Jeremy? Is that okay? Because I don't know. I can't see anything on my feed. And then they can see the gills on the back of this. So they can see the detail. And that's the jumbo avocado. And then always look for the ones with the Viking label, because that's very, very, very helpful for a collection.
And sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. You can also tell by the feel of the glass. Viking has a distinct feel. It's a little bit more smooth and heavy than it is, and that. So I have 4 Viking weight paperweights that I got, and they are pretty cool.
So, Jerome, the date of the Viking mushrooms. Yes, Ellie, I'm sorry. I missed your question, Ellie, because I lost my chat there for a minute. The mushrooms are very hard to find now. Complete sets of 4 can go between $800 and $1,200 for a complete set of 4. And, Jerome, the date of the Viking mushrooms, circa dating, I believe they started them late 50s into the 1960s. That was a much later edition of the Viking.
Yeah.
It wasn't like an early thing. Hi, Cindy. Welcome in, honey. Pamela, welcome in, honey. So, yeah. So Jeremy's cats are a fantastic part of the collection. Do you want to talk about anything else with Viking? Or do you want to talk about coffee or tea if they want to place orders on BullyRun?
Absolutely. So, as you all know, you can order coffee on the BullyRunCoffee website. And we have just introduced our tea line, what was that, about a month and a half ago? Anyhow, so I'm at the Chagrin Horse Show, and my friend Jamie made some of the peach honeybush as an iced tea, and I have to tell you, it is fantastic. So if you're looking for a really good peach iced tea, the peach honeybush is definitely a to-go for honey. And the coffees this month, the Silverado blend is on sale. So if you go on the website, you can pick the Silverado blend up on there with the or it already being on sale. So. I don't know. Do you have anything else
I could get into buttons if you want me to.
Yeah, why don't you?
If you want to switch me into buttons, yeah. I'll be glad to do that. I'm going to give you, or do you want to watch on your tablet or your computer?
Yeah.
I think we'll get into buttons. Do you guys want to know any more about Jeremy's glass or the coffee? Because we have both devices waiting for questions. I don't want to ever leave Jeremy out because he is always off camera. And he is very comfortable in front of the camera, and he did want to share his collection tonight. I think he gave you a very good sampling of at least the small part of Viking, because we did a video on his Viking collection early on his channel, and we want to do more of them. So we definitely want to do more of them. Do you post where you're going to be, Jeremy? Michelle D. Jeremy?
I haven't. But I will next week be at the Maps Museum in Canton, Ohio, for a military show that starts Saturday.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm sorry. Thank you, Michelle D. They love our matching shirts, even though we didn't plan it.
No, we did not plan it.
We didn't plan our matching shirts, but we love them. We love the American flag, and we love our country, by the way. We absolutely love America. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. 98 people. Could you all continue to hit the thumbs up for Jeremy, please? Because it will push it out, and more people will arrive. And I told Jeremy, I said, I'm just glad that this is so laid back tonight, and I don't feel like I have to turn on the charmometer and be a salesperson tonight. It feels really wonderful to be comfortable in front of all of you. Ellie, were you the one? I have 2 Ellies here. Ellie, were you the one that came to my button talk?
Yes.
Okay, so Ellie was the one that came to my button talk. She can tell you guys how amazing it was in real life. And I brought many of those cards out to show you all this evening. And I guess why I wanted to do a talk on buttons was because I've collected buttons now for approximately 30 some years. And I was part of the National Collector Button Association and the Button Guild. And my mother and I did the national shows, the national button shows, in buying and selling and trading buttons for, I think we did it for 9 years total. And I always needed her help. So Mom, thank you for being here tonight. And thank you for always helping me. My mother and I had an amazing day the other day because I told her, I said, I'm taking this week off and I'm coming to see you. So I went to go see my mom on Sunday. We made corn together. We laughed together. We did 3 videos. That's right, 3 videos with the world famous Mary Adams. They are pre-recorded and they will be released very, very soon. Oh, and Ellie said, thank you so much for the backup. She said, it was better than going to a museum close up and personal. Absolutely. Let's see here. Yeah, so Christy Easter, she said she had trouble looking at the website. I'm sure it was me. What do I click on? So you go to.
I'm gonna see if I can't get a link.
She's gonna get a. He's gonna get a link for you. And she was just saying she had a difficult time, and it may not be you, so don't be so sure on that. Tell us how to card buttons. Yes, so Nancy, that's a great question. I'll show you, because I'm going to reverse here in a minute and come closer up to all of you, because this is so far away, and it is reversed. So you're seeing the cards in reverse, and it really bothers me because I strategically plan these out, so you're like seeing them opposite, and I don't like it. So these are all, the holes are all punched by me, and I lay down a grid on the card stock, and it's very thick card stock, so start with a very thick card. And this one has embossed lettering on it, which is beautiful, like calligraphy and fantastic. I use acid-free board, acid-free mat board. I punch the holes, and then these are all wired on with pipe cleaner and then a plastic-covered electrical cording, which was like old telephone cording. And since they don't use that anymore, that style of wire, you can find that, I don't know, just look online, you can find it all over the place in surplus places. Ting buttons, and the reason why I talk about ting buttons, like this little glass button right here, no one would know this, but that's like a $80 button. And the yellow one on another card is like a $100, $125 button. There's some on this card that are between $40 and $50 per button. And these are all Victorian glass buttons. Those are all Victorian glass buttons. Please watch the chat, please. I appreciate that, Jeremy. I'm gonna let you start to move these because I don't feel them safe there. I just don't like it. It's probably not advisable. So I am going to reverse the camera, but I'm gonna position it over a little bit. So if you get motion sickness, I'd probably look away if I were you for just a moment. I'm gonna fiddle with the camera for a second. And I think why is because I wanna reverse the camera and to go into the other direction. So if you get motion sickness, just look away for a second. I appreciate it. Let me see how I would do this, Jeremy. So if I take the phone out of the holder, I think it would be best if I take it, because I can't reverse it and leave it in, I don't think. Let me try it. I'm going to try 2 different ways and we'll see what happens. If you could watch the feed, Jeremy, that would be wonderful. So if you guys get a little motion sickness, let me put this card up in front of it. Jeremy, because does that block the view? If you could check on the thing. I'm going to block the view for a second, guys. Okay, so I'm going to swivel this around like this. And I don't know if I reverse it. See, I have to reverse the whole camera. Hold on, guys. I'm going to do it a different way. Because see, like, if I reverse the camera, could you reverse the camera for me, Jeremy? And then I'll take the camera. It's just that it's... All right, guys, I'm going to take you out for a second. Hold on. Just if you get motion sickness, look away. And let me do this. And let me put you up here for a second. Let me reverse the camera. There we go. And let me stick you guys back in here. I don't know if this is going to work right, but I'm sure going to try it. So all right, let's see if this works.
It sounds frustrating not being able to see your feed.
Oops.
Try these common troubleshooting steps. Refresh.
Oops. Did I?
It was the AI.
Did we lose them?
No.
Okay. So, AI. But I can't see that though. This is the only problem. Let me do it this way, because here. Let me stand where you're at. That's why I said to move these. That's problematic. Thank you, guys. Sorry for the little glitch. But you get to look at Jeremy's display over there. And thank you, Jeremy. And let's see here. Get that before those go down like a ton of bricks. And thank you guys so much. So now I can see it. And then, Jeremy, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to hold them here, but I need you to feed me them if you don't mind, from each little pile over there. And keep it with their plastic if you don't mind, because each one's specific to the card. Okay, so I started with this one. These are Victorian charm string glass buttons. And again, this card, I would say if you were to find this many Victorian glass buttons, you would probably be in the vicinity of $800. Maybe if you were able to, maybe you could get it for like $400 or $500. I cannot see any chat, Jeremy, so you have to watch the chat as well. So there's that one. I guess I'll just set this one down for a moment, and I'll grab this other one, and then I'll show you this card, which is the amazing, amazing, amazing art glass and brass collars. These date right around 1890. Could you guys let me know in the chat that you can see these very well, that these are all glass and they're collet set in brass? Some of the more notable ones, this peacock luster with foil from behind, and if you could watch the chat, that'd be great. This is Lalique glass right here, because I can't see anything right now. This is Lalique glass right here. Lalique glass and a collar. And then do you understand that these are reverse painted glass and then inset in a brass collar? Look at this one that looks like faceted amethyst and black onyx. And that's all one piece of glass painted with that gilded metal made to look like it's faceted amethyst and gold. These were very, very expensive buttons. Nope. These were very expensive buttons. The dog card next, and keep it, that's fine, yep. Keep it with the plastic, because then I have a major meltdown. Put this one, hold on, put this one with that one. Thank you. A little bit of a glitch, guys, wait one sec. And thank you, Jeremy. I really appreciate that, because these are very sensitive to the containers that they are in. Thank you, Jeremy, very much. Okay, so let's see here. Able to see, amazing. I'm just going to check this for 1 second. Jacqueline's Treasures, Jeremy, Hayden, talk about the button shows, please. Good job, Jason. See them well. Thank you, guys, so much. Okay, so here we go. So these are most of my cherished dog buttons. These are all very, very early. So we have reverse painted on mother of pearl. We have mother of pearl with a brass escutcheon. We have wooden. We have a brass, beautiful brass button with the dog, with the chain, with the other dog laying down. Sometimes that button has little puppies with it. Look at the cameo carved mother of pearl with cut steel border. Imagine that button right there. Imagine that button. They carved the cameo and they faceted each piece of steel and riveted that to that button. Look at this one, reverse painted on mother of pearl. Look at the size of this button. Very rare to find this. Dating on this card would be from around 1810 in the earliest, through the height of Victorian in the center. These are all Victorian buttons here, including the cameo button, 1890, into this one from the late 1930s, and then the little check glass button. I didn't compete with buttons because it wasn't fun. They would have these rules and regulations, and you know how I deal with rules and regulations. I don't. When other people have told me on YouTube, like, what I can say or what I can't say, I say what I want. And as long as I'm not hurting someone, my truth is my truth, and that is it, and it's called transparency. I'm not going to ever change for that. With the button collecting world, there were rules and regulations, and I understood why. They would have like, okay, so they would say Division 1 buttons, and you have to have 42 dog buttons, mixture of materials and ages. And I would say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that because I also have a Tommy Cat button. So I would have been disqualified because I had a Tommy Cat button on a card of dogs. But I wanted my card of dogs because I wanted this to be fun. I wanted this hobby to be exhilarating. This button you can find in 2 different versions. This is the most ornate. I wanted the best version of every button I could find. You can find it with all brass without all the cut steel, with all these shaped cut steel. And look at the little cut steel tongue in the terrier's mouth. I really hope that you can see the detail on these exquisite buttons, and I'll take you through the rest of the dogs because some of the small ones are some of the most ornate. This one's from the late 1800s, and that is sterling silver, hand engraved. Jeremy, am I missing any questions at all? I don't want to lecture and bore the people. I want to engage and I want to show them why buttons are really starting to become very, very, very expensive again. And look at the little puppies. That's the one right there. Look at the detail of all those little puppies nursing on the mother hound dog. That's from England. That's an English brass button, 1850s. On that one. This one looked like my Zeus, my Shepherd mix. It's carved wooden studio button. And that one looked like my Black Lab Onyx. So that's why I had that one. This is one of my most cherished cards. And again, they're all punched to the back and then wired on from the front. Let me put that one away. Let me grab these over here. I really want to wow you guys. So I brought these out for a reason. I really want to wow you. This is the one that I dug deep for. So if you love rare and you love exceptional, these are considered gay 90s. That's exactly what they're called. There's no, hate in calling them gay 90s. They're from 1890. They're all glass jeweled buttons. Most of these were used on a cloak or very large jackets. Each one has Czechoslovakian glass, or I should say imported glass. And then some are accented with cut steel. Some of these have 3 and 4 materials to construct each and every button. Look at that one that looks like citrine. It looks like the largest citrine, and all cut steel in graduated size in that twisted border. You understand this card of, shall you say, 20 buttons. Each one costs between, when I was buying them, the cheapest was $85, the most expensive was like $175. So do the math on that card. This is a very expensive hobby, extremely expensive hobby, but it's totally worth it because you see the history of clothing, the history of fashion, the history of metalsmiths, of jewelers. I have often said that this is proof that these buttons are jewelry for clothing. These are not just mere buttons. These are works of art.
I have 2 questions that are the same.
Sure.
Were these considered decorative, or what was their function?
They were functional buttons on very, very expensive outfits. These were fully functional buttons on clothing. This is how far we have come from artistry in our world. These were buttons for clothing. These were only meant to be utilitarian, but they were highly, highly decorative. And look at the dimension of these buttons. Look at the depth of surface. Just absolutely breathtaking. And yes, these are framed and hung in my house on these beautiful shadow boxes. Did I miss any other questions, Jeremy?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so that takes care of that. Let me show you the Bakelite card. Then we'll get into that box down there because there are some in this collection that are just exquisite. And in my title, when I said the collection was worth $97,000, I think it's actually worth $162,000. And it's true. Bakelite. All these are Bakelite. Strawberry, pretzel, reverse carved apple juice, sunflower, reverse carved fish in a lake. Look at those 3 fish in that button. Beautiful grape cluster, the screw button. Like I said, that would be my favorite. I would tell people to go screw themselves. There's a the pepper, the bell pepper, the red star, the vent carved. See how that looks like a vent? That is all pierced and carved from behind. Stylized flower, the Martha Sleeper clown button. You never see those anymore. A beautiful cherry red. The 2 hands, of course, I wanted it in the yellow. I wanted it in the deep brown. I wanted that reverse carved apple juice. And how can you not love this tiny little bell pepper? I bought that from my friend Linda Eckstein, and I told her I'd keep it forever. And there's further proof that 15 years later, I still have the button I said I'd keep. The Sea Monster, very rare to find Figural. The Yin Yang, the matchstick, that's Martha Sleeper matchstick. Look at the tomato. Look at the fish with the glass inset eye. I had 3 of these. I only kept one. The cheapest that I sold one for was $125. $125 for one button. The turtle, extremely rare to find a carved turtle. Think about the outfits that these would go on. Think about the outfits. This is considered a cookie button in Bakelite. That's considered a cookie button right there as I struggled to get it in the film. There's the cookie button, another carved. The rooster, the heart, the horse and the horseshoe, the watermelon that's half-eaten watermelon, another reverse carved, the carrot. How could you not love these? The compass actually works in the anchor. When you talk about value of these buttons, it is extreme. The domino, extremely rare. The one that's bordered with cork at the bottom. The mixture of materials is fantastic. And look, a tiny little cigarette pack with 2 little celluloid cigarettes. Who would have that on their clothing? I would. I absolutely would have. And I do actually, from time to time, put amazing buttons on my clothing because I want to use them. And I'm going to look at them. Does anyone want to see buttons that I made? Does anyone want to see? Because I'll show you buttons that I made if you want to see them. All you got to do is say, show us the buttons that you made, and I'll do it. I will totally do it. I just need to hear it in the chat. I just need you to say, hey, we need you to show us buttons that you made.
So they're saying yes.
Oh, they're saying yes. All right, I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to show enamels, and I'm going to show more enamels, and I'm going to show, here, I was actually in a publication. Do you guys want to know that when I say that I'm famous, it's totally true? Let's see here. People love Victorian picture buttons. So I'll show you some of these as well. Okay, I've got 5 more cards. Then I'm going to take you over to the light box for the real show. You're not going to believe it. Jeremy, look at all your packing boxes way over there. That's Jeremy's packing department. Here, let's take a look. Oh, they want to see mine. All right, so show you buttons I made. All right, here we go. You ask and you shall receive. These are buttons that I made. I will tell you that my buttons were very expensive. These are one-of-a-kind studio-made buttons by the one and only world-famous, very humble, handsome Jason Adams. Sterling silver and antique shell. Commissions were welcomed. So look at this. So you understand what we have going on here. You have antique shell buttons, and then I cut out of sterling silver all of these designs, and then I riveted them down to these buttons. Look at the little fire opal that I bezel set inside of that. So these are all antique shell, or what we call ocean pearl. We call them ocean pearl because, after all, that's what they were. Look at the horse. So I did a silhouette in sterling silver, and look how finely done the feet are. So that is all hand-cut sterling silver, and then I riveted it down to that ocean pearl. And yeah, that's my silhouette horse button. And look at this one. This is the first button I ever made. I'll never sell it. This is my lotus. Carved underneath mother of pearl, and that's all pierce work in sterling silver. So I took a little tiny jeweler saw and I sawed that out when my vision was 2020. My vision is no longer 2020. That ship has sailed. Look at that for an octopus, and then I stippled all of the sterling silver. I sold 2 of the octopus buttons, so 2 of them are out there in the world. Both were in competitions, and both ladies won the national competition on 2 separate cards. And I charged $225 for those buttons. And this is my phoenix. This was very difficult. So that's a sheet of sterling silver pierced out by hand and then riveted down to ocean pearl. There's my cat button. There's a sterling silver cat, and that is on Bakelite, of course. So that's my cat silhouette. There's my elephant scrimshaw, so I carved the mother of pearl, and I put sterling silver elephant on there. Look at that one. This was my Zito button, so understand this one so I can explain the point system in antique button competitions, because there are competitions. So you would get a point for text. There is Zito, that was his name, Z-I-T-O. He was my bull terrier. Then you get a movable part. See how that tag and the leash were a movable part? So that's your second point getter. A border, so the chain was then riveted to that plastic button, so that's another point getter. The fourth point getter was an escutcheon, so that is metal. That is a metal dog, sterling silver, bull terrier. So that's an escutcheon, so that's your fourth point. Your fifth point in competition is a notable breed. There is no way that you would look at that button and not say, that's a bull terrier, because that's a Spuds MacKenzie. That was my Zito from a photograph. That's a notable breed. That's number 5. And number 6 is mixed materials. That is a polyester button from the late 1940s. So if anyone ever competed with that button, they would have won the national competition, hands down. Nobody would have beat them. And it was a studio button because I made it in my studio as an artist. And I did sign my buttons on the back. So if you wanted to ask yourself, did you sign your buttons? The answer is yes, I signed all of my buttons. The most expensive button I ever created, can anyone guess in the chat? Because I feel like I've let you all out of the chat. Can you guess what my most expensive button I ever made? Just take a guess what my most expensive button, and don't be bashful, just take a guess what my most expensive button was I ever made. And I'm waiting. Oh, I'm so excited about this.
1,500, 500.
Ellie's not allowed to guess because she already knows. Ellie's not allowed to guess, she already knows. But she can guess if she wants to, because I think it'd be funny. Because I think she already knows.
12, 800.
Okay.
850.
So you guys are close. So the most expensive button I was ever commissioned to make was a peak. Who said 10,000?
Celeste.
Hey Celeste, I got a button I can sell you. Hey Celeste, you want a set of them? Hey Celeste, I'll sell you 6 of my buttons for 10,000 a piece. Celeste, that is awesome. So it was $375, and it was a peacock and lucite, and it is out there in the world somewhere. So be on the lookout for a large peacock button, reverse carved lucite, and it's about this big. The button is about that big. It's a big one. So, oh, they're all guessing. Oh yeah, absolutely, Celeste. Celeste, you better save up. So these are the jeweled ones. So let me show you this card really quick. This is the history of jewels. There are buttons on here from, this one is a Stuart crystal button. This is from about 1770 on that button. It's rock crystal in sterling silver. So that's Stuart crystal. And there's a little gold bullion kind of wire work under there of initials or a family crest. Let me just show you all these because I don't really have time to go into each one of them. And that is sapphire glass. So sapphire glass, and there are 4 on this card of sapphire glass. There's another one here in the corner. Right there, there's another one right here, and then there's this giant sapphire with a clear paste border. Those are very, very, very rare to find that large because sapphire glass does not normally come that large. Those are very large buttons. Look at that glass flower one with the jeweled center. This one's very early in the center. Those are rock crystal and rhinestone. This one's sterling silver and rock crystal, so that's early as well. Could be 1820. I wish I could take these off and show you the back of them. Oh, I lied. Here's another sapphire. So I got carried away, and there's 5 of them on this card, but that's another sapphire glass. Beautiful. This one's moss agate in sterling silver with clear quartz border. That's a moss agate in sterling. So they did use real jewels in buttons. This one's also Stuart crystal, slightly later than the other one, so around 1800, 1810, set in sterling silver. And why it looks yellow under there, does anyone want to guess why that looks yellow? Look at my manicure. Does anyone want to guess why that looks yellow under there? I'll look at my chat finally. Let's see here. Does anyone want to guess? I did, Aldine, I did. I photographed them. Look at all of us here to see fancy buttons. You know what, April B., this is like a labor of love. I love my collection. I just absolutely love this. I've been so passionate about it for so many years. And then people get into this one and they say saphrine. I see people going saphrine, saffret, saf this, saf that. It's just incredible glass with those heart-shaped buttons. I paid $100 for that button. And this is gold. So they did use golden buttons. That's gold, sterling silver, faux turquoise, and marcasite. That button's from Greece. It's very large.
They're asking,
tarnished.
Has there been any oxidation or
Yes.
tarnish?
Okay, so you're exactly right. So good job. So that was Amanda, Cora, and Eldine. So, okay, a Morning Angel, you're exactly right. So what they did is they put silver foil behind the crystal. That's all closed back sterling silver. And a huge thick shank on this one. The shank is like crazy thick on there. Big chunky shank. That's how you date these. But it has silver foil underneath there. The silver foil has started to oxidize. So, but they foiled it so it would dance by candlelight. So you are all absolutely correct. Thank you so much for knowing that. I feel so good because then I'm like, are people listening to me? But you probably already knew that before me. This one's 14 karat and amethyst. And this one's 14 karat and amethyst right there. That's very deep bullet-shaped cabochon amethyst. Look at that one, the glass. All right, so there's if you love jewels and you love rhinestones, glitzy, there you go. I didn't want to leave you out. Let me show you an article that I actually, does anyone want to see an article that I wrote? Does anyone want to see one of the articles? I'll be honest, and I told Jeremy a couple weeks ago, I actually have now written, it's over 40 articles, not just on buttons, but yes, to the article. Okay, April B said yes. She's my biggest cheerleader. She's like, do it. I'm here for it. I want to hear. I want to hear all about you. All right, I'm going to tell you right now. So, I need a drink. Who knew that I was going to be talking this much? I'm going wild. Jeremy, am I crazy?
Yes.
Jeremy, you're supposed to say no. Let's try it again. Jeremy, am I crazy?
Yes.
No, you're the apple of my eye. Why did you jump? Did you get an order?
Yeah.
Jeremy just got a coffee order. Whoever just ordered coffee, thank you so much. Oh, I see who it is. Thank you, KE. That's all I'm going to say. KE, you just came into the chat and you just ordered coffee. I already love you. So if you guys want to go over and order coffee, Jeremy is ready. So here is the Buckeye State Button Society. And this is their 66th year. It was the summer of 2013 when I was doing nothing but drinking. And it says right here, buttons, jewelry for clothing. Who does that sound like? It says buttons, jewelry for clothing. And then Peggy Harry, she was 100 years young then. Do you guys want to know my best friend in the button collecting world? It was Peggy Harry. And I actually celebrated her 100th birthday with her. And in one of my YouTube shorts, I did put a photograph of us together. 2013 spring competition results, I didn't care because I'm like, I don't care who won what. You guys ready? Here we go. Here we go. I'm so excited about this. 120 people decided to join in. All right, I'm going to show you the article, and then I'm going to read a little bit of it to you just because I feel that it's important. There are my photographs. So as I show you the photographs, I'm going to read a little bit of this. It says, buttons, jewelry for clothing, and it says, by Jason Adams. And look, this is an actual book. So if you want receipts about me being who I am, instead of just running my mouth as like, I'm a jewelry expert, I'm a button expert. Nope, I'm going to tell you what I've done. Buttons, jewelry for clothing. As I begin this article, I found it a challenge to decide what to share from my collection and how to provide appropriate information. As an artist and jewelry historian, I entered the button collecting world from a different place than most. I have built both jewelry and button collections based on historical importance, craft, and design. I focused on the Art Nouveau and arts and crafts movement. As an artist myself, I have a great respect for both eras, admiration for the handmade, a strong stand against machinery and mass production. And then I went into explaining how, and there's that. So if you ever want to take a screenshot and read that. And then I did do some of these other little decorative things. And then I showed buttons from my collection. Now you're not going to see any of these here tonight because these are very important and not in my holdings right now. That's all I can say. And there is the information on Art Nouveau. Sorry if it's out of focus. There are arts and crafts buttons. You saw a few of these. You saw this one, but you didn't see the rest of these. And there you go. Talking about the way that these buttons transitioned And then into this one right here. So arts and crafts, clearly arts and crafts. And then someone else would say, well, that's Art Deco. And that's Art Deco. And this is Art Deco. No, it's not. No, it's not. And no, it's not. These are all arts and crafts. Those are 100% arts and crafts. And then we have the graceful and transitional. These are all pieces of jewelry out of my collection that I still own. An Unger Art Nouveau lady brooch right here. An arts and crafts English brooch right here with enamel. This one is from England as well. That's an enamel orchid and seed pearl border. That is arts and crafts fire opal. And this one is by, I believe, George Anton Sheed. Is a very rare Art Nouveau mistletoe. If you want to see any of those in a video ever, if you want me to bring those into a live feed ever, I still own all 5 of those, and those are out of my collection. And then, of course, the book does go into the results of the competitions. It talks about Peggy Harry. She was just amazing, and there she is. So if you see her in one of my YouTube shorts, I did take photographs with her, and there's one of the competition cards that actually won at the national competition. Okay. Okay, that does that. Who wants to see Victorian picture buttons? Anybody? Do you guys want to see some Victorian picture buttons? And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to bring you over to the light box for a couple minutes and show you some of my favorites that are loose, that haven't been mounted down. Does anyone want to see Victorian picture buttons?
Yes.
They do?
Yes.
Just, can I have a couple more yeses?
Yes.
Yeah, 127, and they're going nuts. Here we go. Victorian picture buttons. And I started collecting these because I found them to be whimsical and fascinating. So the dates on these, on this entire card, there is nothing pre-1860. So they go between 1860 and about 1890. These are very large. These are the large size and extra large. Mixture of materials. You have die-pressed brass. You have cut steel, you have zinc tin, there's a wood background, you have steel and nickel. So you have a lot of mixed metals when it comes to these buttons, and they all have a name. They all have a name, they're all identified, and if you want to take the deep dive into clothing buttons, get the big book of buttons. The book cost about $300. Used copies, you may be able to pick them up now for around $125, but in very good condition, the big book of buttons goes for around $300. You will just lose your mind when you get that book. It is one of the most fantastic of all the books. And look at the detail of the Victorian picture buttons. I think she was my favorite. And she's known as 2 different people, and I think people fight over her all the time, who she is, and this and that, and they put names on these, and then years later you find out that they were wrongly identified, or I should say, the people were wrong because they were incorrectly identified. Look at that Egyptian Sphinx. And look at the detail of these and that oxidation on the surface. And years ago, these were like very expensive. Some of these would go between $35 and $65. Now these are down to, 25 to 40-ish. Some are still around 80 or 100, depending on the rarity of the design. And then I want to show you a personal favorite. If you guys would let me do that, I would greatly appreciate it. Jeremy, what are you thinking?
It's going good.
Do you want to give me a high five? Did someone else buy coffee?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Okay, Jeremy's waiting for another coffee order. Jeremy's waiting for another coffee order. This is one of my favorite cards, and these are escutcheon buttons. And there's one on here that it's known to exist, but no one in the world has it but me. So stay tuned for the rarest one. These are all escutcheon buttons. So these are all brass on mother of pearl, and these were my inspiration for my buttons, my studio buttons that I created. So this card inspired me. Does anyone want to guess how many years it took me to create this card of escutcheon buttons? I'll wait for you guys. Oh, Cora, just go over to BullyRunCoffee.com. And he's sitting by his computer, Cora. He's gonna fill your coffee order in 2 seconds tonight. Anyone that wants to go over, if you want to drop that, Jeremy, they can.
Ava's got a question about wood.
Where did Ava's got a question about wood? Okay, are there Any bog oak? Oh, I do. I don't have any bog oak buttons, but they do exist, and I do have gutta percha buttons. Thank you, Mary. Mary caught that. Okay, so you guys are guessing on the years of how. There's Jeremy's Bully Run Coffee. So if you go over to Bully Run Coffee, BULLYRUN coffee.com. Jeremy, just write that down for me, like a marker and a little piece of paper. I'll hold it in front of the camera because on replay they don't see that, Jeremy, and they're not going to know where to go, okay? Because they don't see the chat on replay, and that would be problematic. But you just go over to Bully Run Coffee. So it took me. That's great, you guys. So you said 10 years, 6 years, 29 years, 15, 10, 20, 15, 15, 30 years. Pistachio. Pistachio, you're really close. About 24 or 25 years it took me to collect this many escutcheon. So when you go through button tins and you go through button jars and you go through button collections, there's only one or two of these ever, and there are very rare ones. And I'll point those out for you right now. There's an Art Nouveau floral. See how whiplash that is? Whiplash and curvilinear. There's the anchor. I love the star because it's patriotic. This is a very rare button. That is Tecumseh. That's who it's known to be. That's what they have always identified, this front view Native American. And I always say Native American Indian. And I'm very respectful when I say that, but that's what I learned in school about cowboys and Indians. And that's a Native American. Beautiful depiction. Look at the detail of the headdress. They would be around 1880, 1890. Very unusual button and huge. I mean, that's a big one. I think that one cost me $225. I think that was like $225. The St. Bernard, that was also one that cost me dearly. I think that was like $125. The Art Nouveau Mucha girl, Alphonse Mucha, that's the artist behind such Art Nouveau stylized women, not of this button, but of that stylization. Die-pressed brass, that one was like $95, $125. That was a floral that I loved. Look at this mistletoe one. The Art Nouveau mistletoe, mother of pearl, gilded brass and nickel. Love the bellflower escutcheon on that really electric mother of pearl. Ring around the rosy, very, very rare to find the bronze girls. And look at the detail of those diaphanous gowns, those little bonnets, the faces, the hands, the energy, the gesture, and to get it on a button that small. These are miniature works of art that need to be cherished and need to be loved and need to be appreciated. Look at the color of that ocean pearl and that electric fuchsia that is not dyed, that is not treated. Probably a gem person or a so-called expert would say, oh, that's dyed shell. No, it's not. That's natural. And that one's natural as well. That's not dyed. Neither one of them are dyed or altered in any way, and very large escutcheon. The one that is the rarest is right there. It's a cricket playing a saxophone with a top hat. Yes, there's only one of those in the world, and I have him. So if you have one of those, contact me, and I'll buy it from you in a second. The Art Nouveau button, this has been with me. The longest of my buttons, I think that was the third button I ever bought. It's a stylized poppy, and look how they scrimshawed that mother of pearl from behind. And the two cut steel rivets are not only decorative, they hold that escutcheon to the mother of pearl. Love that one. I love the Grecian head or the Roman head. The winged griffin, cut steel, fancy shaped cut steel. I love the electric purple. Love that one. And of course, the tiny little sea turtle. And why wouldn't I have a silver enameled butterfly? So that card probably cost me in excess of, back in the day, it probably cost me in excess of $2,000 to $3,000. I would say probably, well, because of the cricket and a few of the notable ones like Tecumseh and the mistletoe and the St. Bernard, I would say probably closer to $2,500 for that card. And again, I carded all of these. So I wired that all together. And as button collectors go, we always put our most expensive buttons in the center of the cards because that's where your eye goes. We lay these out so that they're directional and they tell the history of material and the history of design. And I really loved the antique buttons. I never got into the vintage buttons, like I didn't get into Czechoslovakian glass from the 40s or 50s. There's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't get into it. So, any other questions? I don't know. These are mother-daughter. This would have taken someone 60 plus years to create. I tried to do mother-daughters, and I started a card 22 years ago, and I simply gave up. And why they're called mother-daughter is it's the big and the little, and then the big and the little, and then the large and the small. Look at the lady chasing the geese with the umbrella. Absolutely amazing. And I do want to say something tonight. Tonight comes with a heavy heart based on the events that have happened in Texas. And I don't want to get emotional, but I do want to say that I needed to do this tonight to get my mind off of the news. And I will just wish everyone out there well and tell you that Jeremy and I love you all very much, and we want you all to be safe. And we love each and every one of you. And I do appreciate you allowing me to escape sometimes reality by doing the shows and tells, not bragging about what I own or what I have or this or that, but just sharing, being transparent in my collecting, in my passion. And I just really appreciate all of you. And I just want you all to know that. And sometimes in life, we wait too long to say things to people that we love. And I never want to wait and tell you all what you mean to us, because you mean a great deal to both of us. And we just appreciate you being here. And I was very grateful to be able to take the day off today to be here with all of you. So thank you for hitting that thumbs up. 139 people and 113 thumbs up. I couldn't be more grateful. So I love you all very, very much. And if you all could just send out a prayer to the people that have had a loss. If you've had a loss in your life recently, just know that we pray with you. And our hearts are with Texas tonight, for sure. Right, Jeremy?
Yes, absolutely.
Our hearts are for sure with Texas, everyone. So, enamels that I really, truly think are just spectacular. This card took me a very long time. I think my mom would know because she helped me search for these at the shows. And I think this must have taken, I would think, I would ask her and she would know better than I, but it had to have taken us 25 or so years. And my mom loved going to the button shows with me. And we will go back to that eventually, I think. Look at the butterflies in cut steel. The triad design in cut steel. That's a very rare button to find. I hope you're all enjoying this. I really, truly do. These are things that we normally don't see these days. And these are all glass enamel on brass. And look at the Egyptian revival from the 1920s. And that kind of wallpaper enamel. And these small ones are so detailed. Can you imagine the artist that made these? And then look at this one with the cut steel border. Look at that little tiny enamel of the landscape with that cut steel border. Some of these, this one's sterling silver with enamel. Some of these are just incredible. And stay tuned, because I have a couple that you'll want to see inside the light box that are definitely jewelry for clothing. This is a very rare button. I had a set of 10 of these, and I did decide to sell 5. And that is a front view enamel dog with a cut steel border. It's a very small button. Very, very rare to find and very expensive. But I never held back buttons from fellow collectors because I wanted them all to have joy. I wanted them all to have fun. I wanted this to be a great experience. And I think the first button show that my mother and I did, I should ask her, but I think we did about $10,000. About $10,000 in income, I think. So I think it's about 10,000. Are you seeing them pretty well, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Are they coming through okay?
Yeah.
Then one more enamel, and then I am going to take you over to Lightbox. I have about another 30 cards that I brought, but I just want to show you some of the loose ones. Let's see how much juice we have on our phone. And then I don't want to make it feel like a job tonight. I wanted this to be fun and exciting. These are all enamels and cut steel and beautiful Art Nouveau. Look at the beautiful butterfly or moth and the jewels and set in this one. This was one of the more rare cards. And there's the Napoleonic button in enamel. I was offered a lot for that and I just wouldn't sell it because I said nope. But these are some of the large enamels. And I hope you're seeing all that because these, again, date on these 1890-ish and very, very expensive. Per button, on the lowest end, probably 35. On the highest end, 165, 175 a piece per button. Most of them would range around 75 to 85. Look at that Limoges in the center. Very early Limoges in perfect condition. Imagine putting glass on a button and then accenting with jewels and cut steel. The little purple one is sterling silver. You would be surprised how many buttons are made out of gold and sterling silver. Look at the cherry one. That's a very hard one to find. Very difficult to find. That's considered a watch crystal. I believe that's what they're calling them now, or Limoges with pallions. I'm not sure exactly what the term would be now. They've been changing some of the terminology because they're realizing that 50 years ago they weren't correct, and now they are correcting it. Look at that for the Trojan warrior. Look at the detail of the beard, the scowl of the face, the thick brow ridge, the prominent nose, the detail of that hinged helmet, the hair, the neck, the musculature. You almost could sense and smell that, like you can just sense the air there. Incredible enameled border. But see, that's where I can lose myself in these. And then you go from that really staunch, strong, masculine button to this delicate, airy Limoges with that forget-me-not border in brass. Very beautiful, very feminine, very just all about beauty and decorative and oozing sensuality and saying, I have money, I have wealth, and I'm going to show you in my buttons that I wear on my everyday clothing. These people were extremely wealthy that owned buttons like these.
Question.
Yeah.
When were those made?
These would range, let me show you again. These would range, give me 1 second, let me make sure I'm going to tell you right. 1840 at the earliest, 1840 at the earliest to 1925 to 1930 on the newest. So you have quite the age range there, but the height of production of enamels was right around 1860, 1870, especially with the cut steel border. That's when those were. That's a great question. I'm sorry.
Next question was how many hours to make one button?
On these, the ones with the cut steel, it would take a very long time. So they would mass produce those. They would, how do I word this the right way? They were die pressed out of a machine, and then they were, so they're die pressed out of a machine, and then they were enameled by hand. The ones that were champlavé enamel would take maybe a day or two, and then to cut the steel and to rivet that together, probably a day or so. The Limoges enamel ones would be fired several times, so one button might take 4 or 5 days to create. That's a great question, actually. I will show these. I wasn't going to show these on camera. One of the most expensive set of buttons I ever bought will be up next. And I do want to show you and give you a reward for the 134 people that were courageous enough to come here tonight. These are Bethlehem pearl, and these are all carved mother of pearl, and these are from Bethlehem. And these always have been buttons. They were never brooches. They're always buttons. And these all have a religious motif to them, a religious overtone, and rightfully so. I do have one of the Last Supper. I do have one of the Holy Bible. I do have one of a cross. I do have one of the Star of David. I have several of them that are not on this card. Some are just floral, but beautifully carved. You'll find these in brooches. Sometimes they're set in sterling silver. Sometimes they just have like a sterling silver back on them. And sometimes they have a brass pin back. So those are all mother of pearl. Now the expensive card. And I'm very strange when it comes to sharing certain things that I own. I don't tell all my secrets. But because you're all here and you're all willing, I'm going to show you a card of buttons that...
We do have another question.
Sure, what you got?
What was your first button you ever bought?
It was, my first button I ever bought was 25 cents, carved mother of pearl and cut steel, and I still have it. Any other question?
Nothing yet.
How they look big. How big are they? Those were those mother of pearl ones were the smallest one was 1.25 inches. The largest one was 1.75 inches. So I guess I could put a quarter by them. This is the most expensive set I've ever bought. These are under glass and they're Raj Indian. So you have to understand how small these are. So let me give you perspective. And you're very lucky to see these, by the way. These are always in museums. And museums don't have a whole set of them. So I have a set of 6. When you find one of these, they go for $300 to $400. They are miniatures under glass on ivory. They're paintings on ivory, and they're set in brass and silver. Oh, and my ring for tonight. I forgot to show you my ring. Jeremy, look. Did you see it? Look at it in the light. Does anyone like my ring? Hold on. Yes, they're very... Look, Kristen Roth. So, okay. All right, here we go. Here you guys go. These are crazy. They belong in a museum. So look at the detail of these paintings. Look at the detail. When they say one hairbrush, it's a one hairbrush. Don't these look like photographs? So these are all the palaces and sacred places in India. And when you see, hold on, let me see if I can focus on that. Hold on. There we go. Let's see if we can get in on there. The detail of these is exceptional. So these people here, if I take a magnifying glass, there are people on the landscape, and they're wearing different colored clothes. Do you see compared to my finger? Okay, that's how small these are. There's my fingernail, there's the building. So look at the detail of the building, the light and the shadow. Looks like a photograph, right? There are several people, I'm trying to hold it still. There are several people in the foreground, and there's people walking on the landscape, and the building is reflected in the water. The trees, the clouds, the sky, the sun. Look at that one. So this is a Raj set, R-A-J, Raj India set. These would have been for the most elite, the most wealthy, the most magnificent that ever existed. Such sets like this now, you can't go, okay, 300, 300, 300, 300, 300, 300. You can't do it that way because they're a set. They are a complete set of 6. And you can't just multiply it 6 times 3. You can't do it. It's far greater than that. I would say on a retail level now, at least $500 per button to an advanced collector, at least $500 a button. So that's 1, 2, 3,000. It's probably more than that, but I don't want to make any more comments on that. I hope you all loved it because I said I'd never show those. So I bent my rule. There we go. All right. I am going to bring them over to the light box. Do they want to be dazzled? Do they want to be completely dazzled?
Yeah.
I think they do. I think they're ready for it. I think they're hungry to be dazzled. I'm going to go around and get that down. I'm going to go on this side. And then, Jeremy, I need... I need my phone. Oh, let's see here. Okay, so you guys stick with me. I'm going to cover... Okay, if you get motion sick, you got to look away. You got to look away. Ooh, okay, hold on. You got to look away. Here, let's cover this way. Okay, I'm going to cover you guys up. Let me take you over to the light box. And I'm dropping you down in. And there you go. All right. So we made it safely to the light box. Are you guys ready? I hope you're ready for this. And then we're going to call it. And the reason why is I want to spend time with you, Jeremy. Did you? Oh, you did this. I forgot that. Okay. Maybe you could. Okay. Okay. I need to be smaller than that. But
do it like a
scroll. Like a little scroll. Okay. Here, can we shut this off because that's in my face? All right. Here we go, guys. I'm coming over. Don't move a muscle. Do you want to talk about anything else? Do you want to? Did anyone place an order?
just the one.
Okay, just one. We'll take it. We will take it. I'm gonna get my other chair. Where's my favorite chair? Oh, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. So there's Jeremy's info, and he made a little blunder. So the BullyRunCoffee.com/shop. Okay, so www.BullyRunCoffee.com/shop, and then you go down to scroll down, and you'll see the information for the coffee and for the teas. And oh no, I just turned the fan on. Oh no! Do you guys hear me? Oh. Okay. Well, I guess I have to unplug the fan because I don't know how to turn it off. So I just unplugged it. Oh, did you guys hear me? I was like talking into the fan. I sounded like a robot. All right, here we go. Okay. Everyone wanted a sale tonight, and they were like, is this a sale? And I'm like, no. Thank baby Jesus, it's not. I needed a break. Okay, so BullyRunCoffee, and I need the chat. Oh, here it is. I have the chat over here. Hi, everybody. Welcome in, and thank you so much for being here. So if you wanted to do coffee, there you go. So www.bullyruncoffee.com/shop, and then you scroll down and you'll see the coffees. Okay, so there's Jeremy's info for coffee, and he can fill the orders because that's what he can do because he's going to be at the horse show, but he can fill orders. Now, does anyone want to see what's in this box? So I got these. I had to get these out of my safe. Well, actually, safety deposit. Does anyone? Charlene, Jason, this is phenomenal. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we need a break like this more often. Absolutely. Really enjoyed this tonight. Maybe make it a regular thing. You know, Michelle D, I talked about it and we're going to do it. So, Warrior Girl, I subscribed to Jeremy already. So does that mean I can, in the future, order coffee from him? Warrior Girl, you don't have to subscribe to order coffee, but we're glad that you did. Let's see here. Jason, please do those special buttons from the piece you wrote. Would be so amazing to see up close. Oh, you know what? Husky, wait, Husky, don't go anywhere. I have them. No, I have a couple, but just, oh yeah, okay. I have that arts and crafts one. Hold on. This was in the article, guys. So this was the arts and crafts one from the article. Husky, stay tuned. You won't want to miss a couple of these. Okay, does anyone want to see what's in this box? I gotta turn on a light. I can't see. Does anyone want to see what's in the box? I can't see anything on chat. Why am I nuts already? Jeremy, I'm supposed to be calm and normal. Is this as calm and normal as I get? Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, Pamela said, well, Bruce is happy about the break. Well, it's Pamela. I'm going to call you on the phone and start screaming his name. Pamela, put me on speakerphone when I call you so I can go, Bruce, Bruce. This is Ruskin, Michelle Guida. The pottery is Ruskin, and then the border is Handcraft, by the way. So Handcraft Guild. Boy, Michelle Guida. I didn't know, girl. I didn't know you were that smart. So that is Ruskin pottery in the center. And I wasn't going to make a comment on it because I don't like to go banana brains and say I know everything. But that is Ruskin pottery. And that is silver plated and it's by Handcraft Guild. That is Handcraft Guild. It is arts and crafts. That's 1900 at the best. It's one of the best buttons that I own. It's arts and crafts and it's sickening. All right, here we go, guys. So if you want the biggest of the big, and Husky, stay tuned. I have other arts and crafts buttons. Don't move a muscle. If you want to see one of the coolest things, are you guys ready? Oh my God, what in the world is going to go on? I'm going to let you take that in. I'm going to let you take this in because, ooh, fancy, fancy. Dinner date went late. What did I miss? Nothing, Joanne. We're just having a good time. So thank you, Husky. And thank you so much, Cherry Cover, to say that. Thank you. So, oh, hi, Turtle Shell. I didn't know you were here. And welcome, honey, because you're one of my last seller friends on YouTube that didn't go banana brains, and I appreciate you, besides Elizabeth K and a couple others. So thank you. These are all sterling silver, and these are cut crystal. So some are paste and most are cut crystal, but these are sterling silver. And this is a whole set. This is a whole set of sterling silver and jeweled buttons, and every single jewel is there. Do you see how long they've been in this box? That's their original box, because look, every button fits where it's supposed to go. It's just insane to think that these were on clothing, but it's a leather-bound box, and I just love this. Please tell me this stream will be archived. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely, Maury Mementa. And I'm going to do another... Oh, thank you, Ellie. She did see this set in real life. Ellie did see this set in real life, and they're insane. They're absolutely nuts. And, I've said, what do I say about this? People are like, well, you're just jewelry. And I'm like, Jeremy, why don't you tell them that it's not just jewelry? I have been, it's everything. Will you say that a little louder? It's everything. It is I'll do glass and lamps and artwork and bronzes and paintings. And look at the box they came in. And this cost a ton of money, but I had to. Oh, wait, Jeremy, Lulu has a question about coffee.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, Jeremy, let's see here. Please tell me the stream will be archived. Yes, we will. Okay, are you guys ready? All right, I'm going to just do this, and you guys are going to go nuts. You guys are going to lose your mind. All right, let's just load the box. And these are the ones I'm going to talk about, and then we're going to call it, okay? I know everyone wants me to probably do more, but I just don't want to. So hold on. I'm going to load up the box, and then we're going to go button by button, and we're going to have a long conversation. Bakelite broccoli, anyone? Excuse me, what just happened? Kristen Roth? Kristen Roth, what just happened? Bakelite broccoli, anybody? Like, who would wear that? A farmer in the 1940s? Probably. And I love our farmers, by the way. Without our farmers, we have no food. So thank you, farmers, if you're out there listening. Thank you to all the farmers that work hard to feed America and to feed people. Thank you so much for all you do for us. It's difficult work. Jeremy, would you want to be a farmer?
No.
Can you imagine Mary being a farmer? My mom, she would be a farmer. Jeremy, why did you say yes? She's going to get you later. That's an infraction, and you're going to get nailed later. She's going to be like, Jeremy, did you say I was going to be a farmer? But she would, oh my God, did someone order a bulldog with beady eyes? I think that's the boxer puppy. Excuse me, what just happened? I paid $1 bazillion for this button. It's carved wood, it's Victorian, and look at that, look at his eyes. He totally did something wrong. This is every dog I've ever owned. Constantly doing things wrong and then looking adorable. Is Kristen Roth here? She is. She's laughing. Okay, because Kristen Roth laughs at everything Jeremy says. This one's 14 karat gold and rock crystal, reverse painted. It's a scarab beetle. Does anyone, can you guys imagine finding a 14 karat gold scarab beetle and rock crystal reverse painted in a jar of buttons? What just happened that day besides I went ballistic? Do you guys want to talk about paste and sterling silver from 1790? So this button is from 1790 and it's all cut paste stones and sterling silver. Very thick shank on the back of this. I wish I could show you the back of these, but I card them on these little discs so that I can hold them and put them in trays and not touch them, because I'm a weirdo when it comes to that. There's the Ruskin. Give me a minute. My mom loves cut steel. So mom, because, peacock eye with steel rivets. And yeah, there's two silver rivets missing, cut steel, but I didn't care. I could care less. Oh, let's look at the back there. There's a loop shank, and that's quite early, 1890. 1900. The peacock eye is extremely large. Like, that's a gigantic peacock eye, like amazingly large, like very, very hard to find. Cut steel for Mary. Let me do these for my mama. Everyone bear with me because I want to do a little show and tell for my mom, because she is here this evening and I do what I want on my channel, and I want to do this for my mother. Her favorite is cut steel. My mom's favorite is cut steel. Jeremy, did you know that?
No.
You did not know that? You know everything about Mary Adams, and you did not know she loves cut steel. Well, shame on you, Mr. Miller.
Well, I never went button shopping with her.
You never went button shopping with her? It was hilarious. So she would be like, she'd go, you know how she does with me? She'll go, oh, don't spend that on that. And then I'll go, oh, okay. And then we walk away and she goes, what did you buy? And I'm like, what you told me not to. So these are cut steel, and they're on steel. And can you imagine cutting each piece of steel? And do you understand how large these are? Like, do we still have people with us? 129 people are still here. I love you all so much. So thank you again. And prayers to everyone out there in the world. I need to keep my people safe because you all keep us safe, and you keep us very happy. And thank you again for allowing me to take tonight off from doing a sale. I really appreciate it. And like I said, if you don't mind, save up some money for next week, because next week is going to be ballistic. It's just going to be amazing. And I'm very happy with what I'm bringing to the sale. Jeremy, can we do some stone animals next week? Yeah. Is that okay? Do you guys want, in the chat, if you want to see stone animals, can you just please put animals and a heart in the chat, if you don't mind doing that, if you want to see some stone animals from Jeremy. And this has the pipe cleaner on it. So just put stone animals with a heart, and we will be bringing on the stone animals then, because Jeremy gets so excited about bringing them on. These are all cut steel, riveted to steel, and I thought that this was exceptional. This is around 1830. So the ones on brass, let me show you the difference here. So a little history lesson. So this is earlier, this is later. This is it could be as early as 1810, 1820. So steel on steel is earlier than steel on brass. So, but do you understand that each little cut steel that looks like a marcasite is on a rivet, and then hand faceted. So each little piece of cut steel that looks like a little marcasite jewel is actually hand faceted, hand polished in steel, so cut steel, and then riveted. So each little rivet comes through, and those are hammered in place. This is older, this is newer, but this is like 1870, 1880, 1800, 1810. Some of those will go earlier than that, but that's a little bit later. So there you go for a comparison on those. And then my mom loved this one. This is one of her favorites, one of the most complex. And these rust very frequently because, you know, we get our clothes wet, both with washing and in rain. Look at the size of that button. It is a monster beyond monster of buttons. It's all cut steel and it's fabulous and I love it very much. And then look at this one. This one is not turquoise, it's turquoise glass, and these are cut steel, and that's Victorian, and I totally love it as well. Boy, are my hands dirty tonight, and I just didn't care. I go, don't care. My people are not going to complain about dirty hands. They're not going to do it. Look at this one for Mother of Pearl. Doesn't this look like the sun? So I'd seen this button 3 or 4 times. It was always $125. And as soon as I saw the sun rays in the Mother of Pearl on this version, I had to have it. I sprung into action and I go, I don't care how much it was. And this one was $135, but it has like actual sun rays in the Mother of Pearl. But that's natural Mother of Pearl. The other ones I had seen didn't have the setting sun in Mother of Pearl, and Mother Nature had an amazing day that day, and the artist capitalized on using the rays of sun and then this kind of corn stalk, if you will, overlay. Riveted together, 1870, 1880. I would pay, today I'd pay $150 for that button all day long. Very beautiful, very sizable. The history of fashion, again. History of fashion, these things, we just don't see the artistry these days. Dragonfly, Art Nouveau, brass, and again, the construction. I'll show you the back of these because they're not mounted down. So let me flick through a couple of these in this box, if you don't mind. Kind of a little firing squad, if you will. This is a screen back. See how there's like a screen that the griffin is on? So that is a nickel and brass griffin on a screen back button. It's the largest version they ever made. Extremely rare button. I did sell one of these on eBay recently because I had 3 of them, and I sold one on eBay. This is the only one I have left, so I kept one for my collection. I sold it for $95 or $110, I forget which it was, but that's a screen back, Victorian, 1870, 1880. They did a lot in sterling silver, so this is a very early Etruscan revival sterling silver button. Really magnificent hand construction.
There's a question, can you clean rust?
I can clean rust. Yes, you can. Simichrome is a wonderful way to clean off rust. So what I do is when I have rust on cut steel, I get an X-Acto knife and I basically refacet the steel with the X-Acto knife, not with like striations, not with like, lines. I take the blade and I go across the whole cut steel surface. Then I use Simichrome, a dot of Simichrome, high polished compound wheel on a Dremel, and I just go with the Dremel on it and I tap, tap, tap to keep the facets crisp, and it totally works every single time. So you can get rust off of the cut steel. What I say is store them correctly so that they don't rust, so you don't need to clean them. But yes, you can get that off of there. And I can do a video on that, no problem. I'll absolutely do it. I know I've got to do a lot of videos this fall on restorations, gluing in rhinestones, how to clean your jewelry, how to store your jewelry, what to do with gold and silver, what to do with pearls, how to treat turquoise, all those. And I don't mind. It's like, I don't want to say at this point it's like basic information for me, but I have to remember that like I have to like go to the basics sometimes, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I take the deep dive and expect everybody is at like the same level, and I shouldn't do that. A great teacher wouldn't do that. A great teacher starts with a magnificent foundation. So great question, and thank you for asking. Button to sale. What does that mean? Button to sale.
I don't know.
Best way to, Husky, the way I store these is I put them in plastic sleeves. They are in non-humidity climate control, basically. So the temperature of the room all year long is about 70 degrees. And I put in those little, do you know the silica packs, you guys, like in your vitamins? the little silica packs that say like do not eat, because they're toxic. I put the silica packs here and there to keep the humidity down. Are you bringing to sale? Oh, yes. So why I wanted to do this show and tell is I told Jeremy I'm going through the carded buttons from my Nez Wingrove's collection. And I didn't tell you that, and I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. I'm doing, yes, we're bringing buttons to, I believe, this next week's sale, or the week after that. So they're either coming this coming Tuesday or next Tuesday.
And where can you find Simichrome?
Simichrome, order online on eBay. So they have it on eBay, and then people say they don't ship it to California, but I looked on there, and it appears that they ship it all over the United States, but like it's illegal in California, I think, because of like cancer-causing agents or something. So Kristen Roth got hers online. Coral Ray said nope to California, and Coral Ray said yep. And so yeah, you can get it online or a hardware store. I got mine in an area hardware store. They ship to Arizona, yeah. So I don't know how to get around the shipping thing, but you can. Anyways, this is glass, and it's the Man in the Moon. This button goes for $95, and look how small it is. But it's the glass Man in the Moon. Look at his little face, his little mischievous face. I have 6 of these, and there's some collectors who don't have any. So I do need to list a few of these on eBay. So it's the Man in the Moon, and it's very rare. This is a lacy glass, and I have a very large collection of lacy glass, but this was one of my first. They are silver painted on the back. They have silver paint. This is the metal shank that is kind of put into the glass there, and then that's painted from behind and made to look like cut jewels, like cut diamonds. And sometimes there's color back there. There's like golden, red, orange, yellow, sometimes blue and green that then irradiates through that glass top. These are very rare. Those are very rare. This is a cloak button, absolutely exceptional, 1890. There's the original loop shank, so we call that a loop shank. And then some buttons have a self shank, and I could show you that if I have one off the card. Here's the little cameo mother of pearl, and this is actually green snail shell. So this is a very rare shell to begin with. And look at that deeply carved cameo face, and look at her expression. I love the flower in her hair. Do you guys love this one out there in YouTube land? That one was a favorite. I just loved it. This one is porcelain. It is Wedgwood style, but I have a Wedgwood. Let me show you side by side. Here is a Wedgwood style porcelain, and here is a Wedgwood. And this is a tricolor, celery white and blue cut steel border. This one goes for around $200. This is about a $200 button. This is about $95. And you would think this one would be more, but it's not. 95 to probably even 225, 250. And I'm speaking retail. And look at the little clip on the back. That's how they attach buttons to clothing. So you could pull the pin out like a cotter pin, pull the pin out, wash the outfit, and put the buttons back on it. So they did remove their buttons when they would clean their clothing. That was a common practice, Victorian times. Loved this one. Dragonfly and cut steel. I love this button. Oh, I just love it. And one of the rarest, enamel scarab on escutcheon. And you can see that those rivets have calcified around the ocean pearl. And there's a 4-hole shank, 4-hole brass inset shank. That is not a self-shank button. And when I say self-shank, the self-shank would have been made out of pearl. And that's just inset into there. Look at that enameling on that scarab. Even the eyes are enameled, and look at the depth of the legs. Some calcification on the mother of pearl, but I leave that. I don't clean that off. This is a ting button. This is the yellow and ruby version. This still goes for over $125. These used to be up to $200 to $300 for ting, and that's Tingue. That's the way you spell ting instead of Ting. It's Ting, Tingue. I know, very odd spelling, but that's what they're called, ting button. I'm not sure exactly where they got their name from, but didn't care because they were expensive. This is Victorian, front view jester, cut steel, and star border. Incredibly hard button to find. Very, very hard. And I hope you're taking mental notes of the ones that are really difficult to find, because 99% of what I showed you tonight is painstakingly difficult to find. You can find them. They're just very difficult to find. This is Georgian. So for all the Georgian jewelry collectors out there, this is a Georgian button that is cobalt glass with silver foil behind. Yes, there's an internal fracture under the glass. Sterling silver and paste border. And I'll get into paste stones. It's just a man-made crystal, basically, leaded, full leaded crystal. And look at those early cut paste stones. It's a very old button, 1790, 1910. Showed you that one. I showed you this one. I showed you that one. Let me show you a few more on the bottom of the box. And then I'm going to entertain some questions. And these are a few of my favorite because they're some of the most precious. This one is 1770, mother of pearl and jewels. Those are all adhered down with like some sort of early glue. And that's glass in the center and mother of pearl. Very hard button to find. Years ago, these were like $400, $500, and $600 a piece. Now they're down to like $200 to $300 a piece. Very rare button. So if you find this in a jar, extremely rare button. I only have about 7 of these, and they're all different, but I only have about 7. So painfully rare button to find. And I want to find one more for this. Oh, this is a deluxe pearl. Let me talk about that. And let me talk about, there's a few more I want to talk about, and then I'm going to open up to some questions. So these were a few of my favorites. This is deluxe pearl. So that's ocean pearl carved and pierced, inset in cut steel. Look at the dazzle and scintillation and serious sparkle. Doesn't that just say of a gone by era and a time of elevated fashion? They're just incredible. Yes, that was an 18th century button, and they are superior. I agree, Morning Angel. Very valid point there, my sweet friend. And thank you for saying that, because this is 18th century, absolutely. Very difficult to find, painfully difficult. This is also 18th century, so this is 1700s. It's a painting on ivory. I paid $395 for this single button, and Jeremy's eyebrow just went up like, excuse me? And I'm like, Jeremy, I did it 15 years ago, so 5 years before you. This is a sepia painting on ivory. These are the 3 graces, and the fingers and the faces and the detail, the shadow of the voluptuous bodies, and what beautiful women were thought of with curves and beautiful bodies, not idealized in any stretch of the imagination. That is crystal and over the ivory painting. These don't survive because once water gets in there in between the crystal and the painting, that painting just completely goes away and is damaged beyond repair. Very rare button, very rare survivor. I'm honored to own it. I think it's magnificent. This is a design under glass. So there's the back of the design under glass buttons. There's that brass collet or collar or bezel I was talking about. And this glass is reverse painted with the black. And then from behind, the foil is inlaid from behind. That's all silver foil to push that design out in that peacock plume. Very rare button. $125, not unheard of. Maybe $95. This one's 14 karat gold, likely part of a cufflink. So that could have been part of a cufflink for sure. That is 14 karat yellow gold with this coiled snake. Loved that because as a single cufflink, it'd be fine to put it on a button card. Absolutely. And this one, I have a set of 9 of these. These are Art Nouveau. These are glass enamel, peacock plume, and just exceptional in its beauty and its simplicity. I've always loved that button. And just a few more, and then we'll call it. One of my rarest buttons is this one. This is called a habitat button. I do have another one, but it's not in as good a condition. This is also from the 18th century. So this is 1700s. It's an actual beetle, a live beetle that once was alive, 200 years ago. And then it's habitat that the beetle lived in, the plants, the seeds, the environment in which this beetle lived in, and then they inset it on some sort of that looks like a cotton or a fiber background, and then it is set in copper foil, and a very, very unusual button to find. Very sizable. These are mainly only found in the books now because they're very difficult to find. And at the shows, they start at 200 and they go to like a crazy amount of money because they're so difficult to find. They just don't exist because can you imagine that surviving? It just is just like unheard of. We'll put that up there. And then this one. This is one of my rarest glass buttons. This is a kaleidoscope. Let me show you what a kaleidoscope is. I have the largest collection of kaleidoscopes in the United States, according to every other advanced collector. So there's a tin or a zinc tin backplate, a brass loop shank, and then that glass is somehow adhered to the surface, whether it be an early glue or beeswax. They haven't figured it out. This is a paperweight kaleidoscope. They are listed in the books as very rare. You will not see a picture of one of these in any of the books, but this is a kaleidoscope that is a paperweight. It is exceedingly, exceedingly rare. And if there's any advanced button collectors who are watching this, please let them know in the chat and in the comments how painfully rare a kaleidoscope paperweight is. Insanely rare. I got this off of eBay years ago. I thought it could have been a kaleidoscope paperweight. It was in a group of buttons, and Eagle Eye Adams over here thought, looks like a paperweight. It is. It's a kaleidoscope paperweight. Very, very, very rare. Only heard of, just not seen in real life. If I found that button again, because I want the best collection of kaleidoscopes in the world, I would pay $300 for that button all day long. On eBay, I believe I paid $12 for the lot. I got very lucky. We'll get into these stones eventually. They're very early. This button is pre-Georgian. It is enamel, low carat gold, sterling silver, and we will get into these stones eventually. I just don't want to do it right now. They are not diamonds. They're extremely early cut stones, and we'll get into these in a video specifically on this button and then also the stone, because I just don't want to go there right now. A lot to explain in that stone, and a lot of misidentification out there in the world. I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't think I left anything out that I wanted to talk about. Oh, I did. This is my favorite little button. Are you guys ready? This is my favorite little one. And then, Jeremy, was there any questions? You lived in 1890. Which three would you sport the most? If you lived in 1890, which three would you sport the most? I don't know. I was going to ask if you had any habitats. See, Morning Angel gets this. She gets it. She's totally like, I get it. Oh, wait, where did my little button go? Hold on, where's my favorite? I don't see it here. Hold on, guys. Please tell me I brought it. Well, I guess I didn't bring my little favorite, and that means that we'll have to do another button video because I have, well, I hope everyone understands that I have 9,000 times this amount. I hope you guys understand that this is the tip of the iceberg for Jason. I'll show three more. I'll show the dragonfly because this is one of the rarest for Victorian picture button. That's one of the rarest, the dragonfly lady playing the mandolin. So that is Victorian, and I love this one very, very much. That's all I'll say on that one. I had 4 of them, and I sold all but that. Then I'll show you this one. Let's show you this one, and I'll end on the rarest button that I have tonight. I wasn't going to show it, but I'm going to show it. Silver foiled, mother of pearl. Why did I say silver foil? Reverse painted glass over mother of pearl, and look how small this is for design under glass. There's the brass bail, brass loop. Here I go, because I'm tired. Brass collet. I'm glad we're not doing a sale tonight. And mother of pearl. Love it. Okay. Are you guys ready for the rarest? Can you guys tell me what you think the most expensive button I own right now is? Just right now. The most expensive button. And take a guess. And this isn't it, but I'm going to show you this one anyway. This one's carved ocean pearl. That one's very old. Like extremely old and crazy good. Very thick shank. Does anyone want to guess what's the most expensive button? I'm ready. What is a good way to collect or find the buttons? Deborah, you have to go to national shows at this point. Button tins, button jars. I could lie to you and say go to antique malls and look for buttons. I will say this much: in all my years of collecting, I found very, very few at antique malls that were actually worth anything. I'll say it that way. So that's a great question, and I would say, and it's nice to see you, Deborah. I would say, someone said, hold on. Oldest button you own. Oh, see, Mary's on the questions, Jeremy. The oldest button I own would be 1650-ish. I say ish because it's circa dating them, because we don't know for sure, since no one that lived back then is still here. So it's always circa dating. So yeah, I would say 1640. And to find the buttons, national button shows is the best way. And just be prepared to spend your life savings. So because you get what you pay for is what I'll say. You definitely get what you pay for at the shows. All right, now I want to show you this one. 9,000 Brian Smith. Interesting. I will say my most expensive button right now is single button is probably 3,500 for one button, and I'll bring that one on eventually. Not anytime soon because it's not in my possession right now. Will I say it's in a museum? No, I won't because I'm not allowed to. So I'll just say that I don't have it in my possession. This one is incredibly rare, and I could talk about this for a while. So I don't do any sort of military collectible. I don't get into military and historical things. So this is on a card of buttons that I bought that was buildings, castles, architectural places. Landscapes, Victorian picture buttons, 1880, 1890. So this was in the center of the card, and my mother and I had went up to Buffalo, New York to buy a collection, and that's one thing I didn't say tonight. I'm not a name dropper, but I will do this because I'm allowed to. I bought Inez Wingrove's collection. Inez Wingrove was a descendant of General George Custer, so I own Inez Wingrove's button collection from Southern Ohio. I also own Peggy Tyrer's from Buffalo, New York. I own Doris Moeller's from, I believe Doris may have been, I think she was in Ohio for a while, but I don't remember where she came from, where the family came from, but I own Doris's and her mother's button collection. And there's two other ones that I'm blanking out. My mom would know the other two that I bought back in the day, but I do own 4 or 5 nationally recognized button collections. Anyways, this came in from Buffalo, New York, from Peggy Tyrer's collection. And the gentleman's name was Conrad, who sold me the collection. And this is on a card that was $15. It was $15 for all these like buildings and picture buttons and buildings. And a friend saw this in the photo that I sent him of the card, and he said, "Hey, that little one right there, that could be a Civil War button." And I said, "I'm not worried about it." So like 6 months went by, and I didn't think much of this because I don't get into the military thing, and that's a whole nother collecting world of military buttons. But there's a little M and a little G. And then there's a guy, and he's kind of hoisting this pole or a flag on a fortress. The back mark is a strong indicator that this is, in fact, a genuine American Civil War button. This is from the Moultrie Guard. And Moultrie is spelled just like it sounds, Moultrie. So again, let me do that again. Moultrie, Moultrie. Guard, Moultrie Guard. This little button, does anyone want to guess? Now, there is a Dug example, D-U-G example of this button on a website, meaning it was dug out of the ground. This one was not excavated out of the ground. This was off of a uniform, okay? This was off of a uniform from the Civil War. Does anyone want to guess the value of this? Anyone want to guess? Oh, you have a Moultrie in your genealogy. Huh, interesting. Anyone wanna guess? Oh, I've had the opportunity to purchase a George Washington button. Bonnie Hopster, I had one and I sold it. And I had the one with the link border, but I sold it for $4,000, so it's gone. Okay, Pistachio, you're close. Kristen Roth, bingo. So it's between 2,000 and 3,200. I was offered, for this one button, I was offered 1,450, and I declined the 1,450. I think I can still get 2,000 for it. So it's between 2,000 and 3,200 and closer to the 2,000. But this is the only one that's known that wasn't dug or excavated, because they say dug button meaning it's excavated out of the ground. And there's the back mark. So if you find one of those in a button jar, or you find 6 or 7 of them, you are in the money. So there you go, Moultrie Guard. There we go. All right. I think the show and tell is over. Coral Ray, I know I should keep it, but I don't think I'm gonna. I think that needs to go somewhere else. Eldine, absolutely. I like the way you think. Eldine, I like that. I think on the road show they would go crazy and appraise it for like 3 times that amount. Jeremy, do you want to say anything else? You've been awfully quiet.
Everything's going pretty good.
Everything's going well?
Yeah.
Are you excited about this week? You guys, let's do question and answer real quick. Button, talk about stones later. No, that's not a smuggler button, but I do have one in my collection. No, that one, it doesn't open, but that's a great question, Morning Angel. You would think that that would open because it's a deep weld. It does not open, so that is not a smuggler's button. So, no, because that's not turning on there. Hold on, let me see. Nope, not a smuggler's button. Nope. But I see what you mean by a smuggler's button. You would think so. But I do have a smuggler's button in my collection. And then I have a Colt, like the firearm company, I have a Colt button that's Colt plastic that is the cameo that you unscrew and there's a compact on the inside. There's like a Rouge makeup compact on the inside. I found a Civil War CSA belt buckle in a cornfield 30 years ago. Holy cow, that's got to be amazing. Oh, you're welcome, Pistachio. Thank you. What made me what started collecting my button collecting? Coral Ray. That 25-cent button did it. That was when I was maybe 17 or 18. That's what started it. And then I just went crazy. Let's see here. Tabra Sun Face. Yes, it does. I don't know what that means either. Were the fancy buttons removable for safekeeping? Yes, Pistachio. I showed that little clip. Let me show you that one more time. So I did mention this, but I'll mention it again. This little cotter pin, see how this comes off of here? So so you would put that through the buttonhole and then put this through like this, and then it would hold it to the outfit. They weren't sewn in place. And then to launder, you pull this cotter and then you take that off, you wash the outfit, and then when it's clean and dry and nice and clean, you put the cotter back on. And you'll see that in sterling silver buttons, because yes, sterling silver buttons, I don't have that set of sterling ones. I'll be honest with you guys, I have like 10 sets of sterling buttons, or maybe 15, who knows, but they all have the little cotter pins. They all have the little pin that goes like I just showed you. So that's a great question. I like that. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, Colt button. Yeah, Rebecca Peters, it's amazing. And fancy buttons removable. Yes, I got that. Oh, you're welcome, Diana. Thanks for being here. Have you sewn any on your jackets? I have not. I love the diamond button collection. So fabulous. Save those cotter pins when I find them in jars. Yes, absolutely. Got to run, Jason. Okay, bye, Turtle Shell. Love you. Thanks. Thanks for being here. Oh, that's what they... Okay, yep. Very old, very worn. 7 gods. I saw yours in a previous year. Oh, yeah, Nancy. So I have, of the 7 gods, the Arita buttons. They're from Arita. They're Japanese. I have many, many, many sets of them, different sizes and different styles. Jeremy is sound asleep over there. He is sound asleep, you guys. He is sitting in his chair and he is sound asleep. April B, you do need buttons, and I will fulfill your desire over the next few weeks. Is there a little loop in the outfit that it goes on? No, it's like a hole, like a buttonhole, and then you put the cotter long ways through the buttonhole. Like through a normal buttonhole. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Lulu. It's the Starship Enterprise. It's my diamond ring. So yeah, I'll show you that up close. I don't mind. Yeah, I do love wearing this, but it was my day off, so I decided to wear my diamond ring, and it's exceptional, and I love it, and it's fun, and it doesn't say anything about me besides. I love this ring. That's all it says. I love the craft. I love the design. I love everything about it. And it's, I always say diamonds are just another stone, but when they look like that, I go ballistic. And I did. I saved up for, I don't even know how many, I don't know how many years I saved up. My friend Tess went with me when I bought this. So I love this ring. It was a brooch, and then I had this gem cad, the whole shank system. I had that made in 18 karat gold, and then we soldered that to the top of it. Jeremy, could you watch the chat for questions, please? Thank you. I really love the Japanese buttons you sold a month ago. Oh, that's okay, Husky. I'm gonna bring more on. Don't worry. I said more on. Husky, I love ya. I'll hook you up. Don't worry. Jeremy, what else are questions? Newer buttons collectible like 1960s? Yeah, there are quite a few contemporary buttons that are, yes, there are contemporary buttons that are worth a ton of money. Oh, good night, Elizabeth K. We love you, Elizabeth K. Very, very much. And thank you for my bracelet. Everyone, if you don't know Elizabeth K, could you do me a favor and just say some prayers for her? And also, could you please go over to her channel because I bought a cuff bracelet from her and a brooch that I love. So thank you for being here, Elizabeth K. We love you. Oh, you're so welcome, Kristen Roth. Thank you. Who made it? I have no idea, but I bought it. Okay, so wait a minute. Is it legal to sell antique ivory buttons? Morning Angel, that's a great question, and I don't know how to answer that, so I won't. I'm telling you, we need a private Facebook group to share buttons and other finds. Rebecca Peters, the only problem with Facebook is everyone loves to fight. Jeremy, what else are you seeing over there?
Not much.
Yeah, I got it, honey. Good night, Catherine. Good night, Elizabeth K. What about mother of pearl buttons? Are there? Yeah, absolutely. Mother of pearl buttons are very valuable. Depending on like what I showed you tonight, there's a lot of value in those as well. Thank you, Rebecca Peters. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. 127 people. I think we're going to call it. Jeremy is getting ready for bed, and it's 9 o'clock, and I said I'd only be on for an hour and a half, and I already bent that rule. You guys, thank you so much. 127 people. Jeremy, is there anything you wanted to say about what we're gonna do this next week? Oh, Mama, I showed the ones I made, Mama. She said, will you show the ones you made? I showed them. I showed the ones I made. My mama said, show the ones you made. I'm like, I did. I showed them. Maybe Mama stepped away for a minute. But I always do it when my mom asks, and I'm going to do it because she said, will you show them? Hold on. I'll show the ones I made one more time because Mama Mary said, hey, show those buttons you made. And I'll go, okay, I will. I had so many other buttons to show you in this in this collection over here. You guys would have went nuts if I would have showed you every single card that I had brought. But this is only, Jeremy, do you want to know how bad it is? Did you see the button room, Jeremy? Did you see the button room did you see the button room lately? Jeremy looked at me as if he didn't know about the button room. So we will skip over that and I'll say, ha ha ha, like other YouTubers, because they go on and they get nervous and they go, ha ha ha, nervous laugh. I'll go, ha ha ha, I'm just kidding, ha ha ha. But I'm not kidding. There's a button room and it's simply out of control. But you have to, Jeremy, you have to go like that. Help me out, Jeremy. You have to go, ho ho ho, like that. Jeremy, will you please do it, because it's funny. He's just giving me looks, you guys. Okay. Jeremy doesn't want to do it. He won't do it. He won't go, ha ha ha, I'm so funny. Okay, let's do this. All right, here we go. Okay. My mom wanted me to bring these in, so I'm going to do it because she said, bring the buttons in that you made. So absolutely, these are the ones that I made, and these were on mother of pearl shell, and they're hand-pierced sterling silver escutcheon buttons. And I had made buttons for quite a few years, and we're going to go close up. And I'm going to show you very, very close these mother of pearl and sterling silver buttons. And then I oxidized the sterling silver. So see how that's got a little fire opal in it? I can take these off. Here, let's take one of these off, just because I want to. And I'll show you. Oh, see, I shouldn't have taken that one off because that's going to be a problem. Hold on, let me see if I can get this one off of here. Yeah, I can get this one off of here, no problem. And then I'll put them back on. Why? Because I want to. My mom wants to see them. She said, hey, Jason. All right, so there is the octopus in sterling silver on antique mother of pearl. So I pierced this out of sterling silver. Nothing's cast. It's a labor of love. I am an artist and I'm a craftsperson. This is all pierced out of sterling silver and then hand stippled with the little suckers. And then see where those 3 sterling silver stays come through? That's the original shank in the antique mother of pearl. And then those little rivets are then cold connected, so they're soldered to the back of the octopus. It's drilled through, and then those wires are pulled through, and then curly cued to keep the octopus in place. So I hope you're loving seeing that. Thank you for asking me, Mom. That's what I'm here for, honey. And I'm gonna call you early tonight, Mom, because I want to talk with you. I miss you. I miss my time with you. And you are my best friend. And I absolutely positively love you. I'll take this one off too. No, I won't because it's a self shank. Uh-oh. Well, Jeremy's phone's going to die, you guys. It's done. Okay, so, all right. 5% left. So there's the buttons I made. Thank you so much for joining in, everyone. I really appreciate your time and your attention this evening. Thanks for letting us take the night off. Jeremy, what do you want to say?
Have a good one.
He said, have a good one. He's super excited. If you want to place a coffee order, you know where to go over to. Anyone on replay, please go over and try Jeremy's coffees and teas. And we will be doing a sale of them very, very soon. And our gemstone animals. And I'm telling you what, next week's sale is going to be off the charts. Go to www.bullyRunCoffee.com/shop. There's that/shop, and then scroll down and you'll see all of his coffees. Okay, everyone, we love you so much. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. Go forth with peace and kindness. Please be safe out there and send prayers to anyone that needs them. We deeply appreciate each and every one of you. You're more like family than viewers at this point, and we just are so incredibly grateful for all the love and all the support. 148 thumbs up. Thank you all so much. Jeremy, tell him we love him because we do. We love him.
Because
we do. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.